Um, when Brown versus Board of Education comes along, Medgar decided he wanted to go to, he said he always wanted to be an attorney. So he decides he tried to get into the University of Mississippi, now Ole Miss. And I, along as I'm sure, along with so many others, thought Jane Meredith was the first black to go to Ole Miss, but not so. A young man attended a World War II veteran before Medgar, and it is said his skin was so light he passed for white. That's how he got in. And he went one semester and left. Well, when Medgar tried, they denied him admission. And this is when the NAACP asked him, will you become field secretary for the Mississippi NAACP? To do that, he had to come into Jackson. And he came into this neighborhood where he lived in some apartments for a short period of time. And then he came into this neighborhood because, one, this was a new subdivision being developed, but he came because it was being developed by two young black World War II veterans. Had never happened before in Jackson, possibly the state of Mississippi, blacks developing a subdivision. And that subdivision consisted of just this one street, and then they were going to place this one street subdivision between two whites. This one behind, this street behind us was being developed for whites, and the one you going out on Missouri Street, that was a white subdivision. They started developing on the lower end, so the four houses on this end were not there at that time. And Medgar came in and he said, selected this particular lot. He said, because I felt my family would be a little safe, because there was already a house on the left and one was already on the right. He said, I kind of nestled mine between the two. He came in changing his house plans. The bedrooms are on the east wall, so let's make those windows a little higher. Don't give me a front door, because I'm going to teach my family that when they come under the carport, to get out of the car on the passenger side and use the wall in the car as a means of protection. First year they were here, someone shot through this window. Mrs. Evers said she knew furniture could not block bullets or would not block bullets. She said, but I just didn't want people looking directly into my house, so she placed her piano, which was smaller than this one, on one corner. On the other corner, she said, I stood a couch. Someone tried to come in on them one night, she says, when Medgar wasn't here, so she pulled her refrigerator across the back door, just so they couldn't come in. These are just some of the things that they went through while they were here. Well, they lived here up until 1963, when Medgar was assassinated, getting out of it once he stepped out of his car in his driveway. Mrs. Evers lived here roughly about 3.5 years. And after that first trial ended in a hung jury, she and her family moved to California. She wound up in Claremont. So that's where she lived up until she remarried and moved to Bend, Oregon.